Hey, I'm Neadom Tucker, owner of Kotori Technologies. I've been in the IT business for over 20 years and I have a passion for helping people and growing companies. I understand how businesses work and how to run a successful company. Today, we're going to talk about end of life. What the heck does it mean and how does it affect my company? So end of life kind of really stands for the end of when a manufacturer or developer is going to support a particular piece of hardware, software, or code. And it really kind of ties into generations of information. Think about it, your vacuum cleaner. You may have bought a vacuum cleaner a long time ago and it's working really great, but maybe it doesn't have a HEPA filter, so you need a new generation. Well, they don't make the old one anymore, so you got to buy a new one. And so that's kind of really when you think about the term of end of life, what it means. So hardware really is kind of strange when we talk about end of life, and it really has to deal with a concept called Moore's Law. It was written, kind of come up with by a gentleman by the name of Gordon Moore from Intel. And basically it states that hardware technology, meaning the CPU processing power, doubles every 2 years while the cost gets cut in half. And so think about this, how fast these processes are getting and how much more computing power that we need to do different things. And as technology gets older, the processing power gets less. As the processing power gets less, it's because we're adding more code into the system. So if you own an iPhone or if you own an Android phone, you understand if you've got an old iPhone, as you do the updates, that phone gets slower and slower and slower and slower as the years go around because the code continues to expand and get more, and the device or the computer or the piece of hardware can't support that type of work in a very fast fashion, and it kind of overloads the device. And so when manufacturers are coming out with the new products, they have to pretty much stop supporting an older piece of hardware to make sure that the latest and greatest software codes and stuff like that can actually be installed on the device itself. End of life for operating systems can be kind of wonky. Let's say, for example, Microsoft with Windows 7. It's about to go end of life in 2020. What does that actually mean? That means Microsoft's not going to release any more software or security updates for that operating system. Now, why is that important to your business? Well, because hackers, would-be hackers, people that want to get in and attack your system, use known exploits. And exploits are basically parts of the code that weren't written well or are able to be attacked and hijacked to gain access to your system. Hackers use known exploits to gain access to your system. Well, if Microsoft is not patching these updates in Windows 7 anymore, then hackers are going to find these and attack those computers that have Windows 7 on them. And a lot of times that may happen through your browser or through your PDF reader or some other application where the exploit is found at. So really making sure that you're on the latest version of the operating system is pretty much imperative to making sure that you are successful in staying up and running in your business. So this one really kind of gets a lot of people, and this is the big reason a lot of software companies are moving to the cloud. Software applications go end of life really quick, and you'll typically see this between versions. And I'm going to use QuickBooks for an example. QuickBooks will support maybe 3 versions behind for maybe payroll updates or tax updates, and then they won't support it anymore because they don't want to support the code anymore. Again, it goes back into what we talked about operating systems. For example, with QuickBooks, we recently had a client that had QuickBooks 2008. Again, they only use it for back office accounting, but they wanted to make some changes and updates in the application. The database broke, and so QuickBooks wouldn't support them more. They said, hey, you have to upgrade to the latest version of QuickBooks to make sure you get support so we can help you out. And so when a software application goes to end of life, they typically stop supporting it. The software will still run. I mean, heck, Windows XP still runs, but it's not supported and not updated by the manufacturer. And why is that important? Well, if the manufacturer or the coder found some sort of wrong code or the wrong calculations on an application and you don't have the update, you're not going to get those fixes in your software application. So really important to make sure that you've got the latest and greatest software application, and that typically happens in the software world if you buy the maintenance or that you pay the yearly maintenance fee on the software, and that'll make sure that you get that all the time. And if you're running a company and then you're depending on this software application for the success of your company, that maintenance fee is really small compared to what would happen if you lost that data or that data got corrupt. Today we covered what the meaning of end of life was, how hardware can go end of life, how operating systems go end of life, and how software can go end of life. I hope you learned something today, guys. Remember, when you need them, you got them. I want you to stay safe, and we'll see you next time.